Well, well, well. What do we have here? Book of Gambit, huh? Brother, you and the other eggheads of the city never cease to amaze me. Never thought I'd live through the Dark Ages to see a book about the moral teachings of Gambit. Hate to burst your bubble, but you might need to take a step back and cool off a little there, hotshot. Gambit's all about banging knuckles, slinging taking in ways that would throw the Vanguard into a frenzy. And of course, getting paid. Hardly counts as role model material. I think you're betting on the wrong horses there, kid.
Well, I don't give a dick about horses or how they're betting. I'm here to write a book and make off like a bandit for a month or two once it's done. I know it sounds crazy to even bother writing a shitty book when Smokey Megamind just did, I don't know, something non-consensual, but I'm telling you this book is gonna do some good. Even if it's only for the 3 lobotomites like myself who even still play Gambit. Lots change and I've learned a lot since you first brought Gambit to the city. But I gotta ask, you even still believe in it?
Kind of question is that? Course I do. Gambit may be the only way to salvation, brother. Been looking for ways to spice things up a little. There's a lot in the works, but resources are getting harder and harder to come by. Maybe this book of yours could drum up some interest.
That's what I'm talking about. I still get a bit excited when I remember the Reckoners. God, they were something to behold. An elite squad of Gambit players. Could you imagine? Had everything down to a science. Still recovering from the kick in the nuts that was missing my Reckoner's seal, dooming me to be a beta male in their presence. Call me crazy, but I think there's something deeper in Gambit. A way to guide not just the Gambit players, but others who might have lost their way towards the light. Despite me trying to be Gambitar, the last moat bender, I need to know, why let the mode decline? You could have been set for life with scores like that coming in all the time. Thought you might have wanted to keep that going. It's gotta be something holding you back a little.
Thank you, Drifter.
You know, I don't hear that enough. I'll be there when you're on the other side of this.
As will I. Trust.
Keep dreaming. Oh, just when it was getting good. Call yourself a writer, there's only one chapter. Can't just cut it off after you get my blood pumping. Where the hell's the rest of it?
That's why I'm here, baby. Your boy has not been crushing it as a writer for this thing. Most of my tactics just fall to hit him harder. If you think that's bad, I only had enough coin to print 2 pages. The rest are written in crayon. Vanguard pays in shards and glimmer. You try to find a 7-Eleven that takes fucking glimmer. Well, I know a lot about Gambit. I think it's best to run what I'm cooking by the conductor. I've about 4 more pieces of light and dark that I've been tackling. So what do you say? Throw an old dog of war a bone and entertain one of your oldest Gambit players for old time's sake?
Ah, what the hell. I got a couple minutes before the witness snaps apart the universe. Hope you're ready, Hot Wheels man, because it's about time you learned a thing or two from old Uncle Drifter. Now let's rewrite the Book of Gambit! Woo! We're gonna have some fun.
By the way, you got any crayons to write? I didn't use them, I ate them. In Destiny, before the board was set and the die was cast on the finale, a mysterious figure made their way into the city, bringing with them a way to push the boundaries of the game to new heights, putting an entirely new but engaging spin on the core mechanics that caused Destiny's gameplay to soar well above the rest in its industry. A game mode that was to take the base formula of the game and flip it on its head, creating an entirely new mantle of its own, solidifying itself as a core pillar of the Destiny experience, blending together a unique cast of characters and its own darker narrative, an asymmetrical player versus player combat experience, and that ever so delicious PvE that the game is known for, rewarding those that dare to be bad guys a chance at being showered in loot and gear that would amplify their specific playstyle into the next level in the prime version of the mode as they bank their way to glory and power. But as the wayward Sons of Gambit would tell you, just when everything was peaking in velocity and the stars were beginning to align, when the story was making risky moves and choices that seemed as though they would fundamentally change the shape of the narrative, and when the Reckoners stood idly by watching the horizon with bated breath for the future of their precious mode, the unthinkable happened, and the mode was all but gutted. As it is written, with all things that dare walk in the shadow of Uncle Bungie, if you are unable to appease the retention beast, or the dark machinery that whirs maliciously deep beneath the core of the code, the depraved depths of the revenue engine, then you are but wasted effort and wasted time, and are subject to being cut down. It was my beloved Gambit that would find out that those that dared to dream, to stand out, would find that sticking out your neck is a good way to get it sliced, and over time, through a stale loot, lackluster rewards, the decimation of the complexity of the mode, Gambit was abandoned. An age had passed, and I had grown wiser. Older, as many of those around me became subject to the sands of time. Ages where I would say to my friends, "Would you like to play Gambit with me?" And they would laugh as they handed me my clown shoes and clown nose. And there was nothing that I could do but watch. But something stirred within me, and I once again felt old familiar sparks dancing in the darkness. A calling, some might say, to seek the flames of retribution, the restoration of a reality that I so desperately craved. I was one of the lucky ones to know that I needed answers, and that there was only one place to find them. So join me, Papa Rye, as we descend once again into Gambit, to walk in the path of fire. Our story begins with a holy fishing minigame as part of my testosterone contract. Just the sight of a fishing minigame makes me come. But just because Uncle Bungie likes it when my balls are shaded Satu Tribe blue, and they'd kill a man before they live with the sight of me being happy, they drop a public event that despawns the fishing spot. God damn it! Even though Bungie are masters at eager edging my dopamine receptors until I'm chemically dependent on them, there was no time to waste. I had a book of Gambit to write, but before that I had to take an extremely quick detour. It'll only be a minute, trust me. So I quickly speed ran Guardian games, finished Duality with only white gear, time skip forward 2 seasons, beat both my dick in Elden Ring. Oh, no! My bones! You have to kill him and go flawless, baby, overachieving. So much time had passed. I swear I did literally everything under the sun but this video. But alright, gotta crack our knuckles, sit upright in our chair, because our story begins with only one way forward. As a Warlock main for the better part of all of my Destiny career, there are few things that hurt my fragile ego more than playing the other classes. It's hard to showcase to everyone just how unreal of a Destiny player I am, when switching to another character shows everyone that I couldn't pour water out of a boot if the instructions were on the heel. You see, I'm what they call a Master of One. In my team, I got Jin the Titan, Inertia the Hunter, and I, the humble Warlock. We form the Holy Trinity. What's that? You play all 3 classes to maximize your farming potential? Who are you who is so wise in the way of getting absolutely no pussy? You see, I like to practice the fear not the Guardian, who has mastered 10,000 weapons, but fear the Guardian, who has spammed the same super ability 10,000 times. Go forth, Nova Bomb, my son. Use your bloodhound ass tracking to get help. I'm stuck in a medieval ass jail and I'm worried about the structural integrity of my ass when I drop the soap. Oh shit, is that Big Mike? But I wanted to use the Book of Gambit to experience another class, to break the mental illness known as Warlock and take up the mantle of a Turbo Destiny virgin. You see, I have been sheltered and Daddy wants to explore. I have 3 choices in front of me. Either I grab my hunter cloak and join the Zoomers, rough it as a Warlock and speedrun how quickly I can learn how to dick down a solo flawless run with a shitty jump arc and an unhealthy amount of optimism. And lastly, option 3, squeeze into the tight, unforgiving leathers of a Titan, where every punch is a love letter to the ancient gods of SmackDown. Each path was an opportunity to open Pandora's box of carnage, a ticket to a myriad of different attractions, to the Papa Rye's bizarre autism adventure. But since I'm a certified baller and there have been many comments saying that I'm a Titan in Warlock skin, I knew what had to be done. I had to show all you turd smokers why I play Warlock, because God gave me all the neural connections actions of a Titan, but the love of all things that are wizard, and to shy away from that calling would be heresy. But know that your Hot Wheels papa isn't lying when he says that after this video, you are gonna have secondhand embarrassment. Not even a bath with a humble toaster could clean your skin after witnessing me play a different class in our favorite game. I headed into the character creator, made another Hot Wheels vending machine Osiris would like to fuck, and began my new light adventure. In true Rylee Reloaded fashion, instead of just playing the challenge you came here for, I blindside you with the entire fucking new light introduction. Integral to the plot, goddammit! I then get hit with nostalgia so powerful that it almost makes me forget about Uncle Bungie violating its public perception and staff's human rights and immediately dim over my gear. The Fallen stalking the area must have shit an entire brick when they watch Papa Rye lock it in, watching him go from dirty vagrant into instantly bricking up into a being that looks like he could bench press the moon or Venus. Going from the Grand Wizard to Turbo Beefcake is an odd experience. What am I if not a dress-wearing fancy fairy? Who am I inside? But there was no time to explain because there were peoples whose skulls needed caving in. Even though this is Book of Fire, the game sparked me up real good with electricity in the introduction, marking the first time that I experienced the thunderclap from the delivering side instead of getting atomized on the other end. And to say that animation is anything other than orgasmic would be lying. Titan's over here styling on us Warlocks with all these good animations, and all I learned how to do was fucking snap.
Take some of this, boss.
I then talk to Shaw Fortnite once again and head off to the Schism mission, stopping along the way to change my shader into the only one God still cares about. I then rub some Frank's Red on my hands to apply some heat and immediately learn why Destiny players can't have athleticism by whiffing every throw of my hammer. Much like the reason I'm banned from my local Walmart, missing my hammers makes me resort to monkey as I deliver a righteous fisting unto my enemies. It was instinctual, reactionary. It was like I was one with the Titan class, showcasing that the seeds of a Titan were indeed there, sown early on to my journey. If only I knew what I would become. I then watched Shaw Handjobs fail to kill a basic wizard and take up the mantle of being an utter disappointment to the guardian species, return to the tower, bought as many solar upgrades as I could, and get ready to enter Gambit and begin my holy work. And as a freelance Gambit enjoyer, there is canonically now only two ways a match can go. Either you become a demigod because your enemies couldn't wipe their own ass without communal assistance, or you face a team so well oiled you swear you accidentally turned on Turkish wrestling. You accidentally turned. I really hope you guys are happy because this is in my search history now. And and bookmark. You sick fuck. Look at what you did to me. I busted out the eyes of tomorrow in consecration because, mother of God, if the thunder slap was enough to make me bust nuggets, then consecrations elevated my human experience to the next ethereal plane. Then to rub salt in the wounds and showcase why a fucking egg would play this game better than me sometimes, I slowly but surely lock on my eyes of tomorrow, launch it off, decided to hang out in the air for a while, only deciding it was a green light go almost an entire calendar year after I pressed fire when my asshole was perfectly aligned with the blast. Much like the Avatar's past iterations, my bloodline was staring at me with sheer disappointment. I then swapped my catapult lift to strafe lift because despite what many Titans would say, catapult lift almost gives you brain damage, and then I resorted to moving back to the bank. I tried to sit my ass down and just use a bit of time to guard the bank while my damaged pride recovered from that godlike play with the eyes of tomorrow. But eventually, the invasion portal opened up and I just couldn't resist. I'm like a moth drawn to the flame. Even though my loadout consisted of a level 1 explosive personality and an Austringer with some kind of perk to make gun shooty better, I dove through the invasion portal with reckless abandon. Just when I thought my gaming prowess couldn't sink any lower, I misjudged the shoulder charge by an actual fucking mile, gunned down Cheat Town, and tried to use crucible plays to defeat my enemy in this godless land. They, recognizing my weakness, laser beam my head with a retrofit escapade, just setting that disaster under the skin level. And when I returned to my side, their invader absolutely nuked my entire team. I tried everything I could to recover, with us actually taking the lead during the primeval fight, but thanks to your boy having weapons you could find in the back of a dumpster at an airsoft store, my boss damage was the equivalent of accidentally pressing stop after you press play on a Steam game. Even with that fact, some Neanderthal bowed to their god and gave me the primeval instinct accommodation. In game 2, I realized I had to do something to up my killing potential. Hitting like a wet fart was not the ego boost I had on my schedule. Since this is Book of Gambit Solar, the only thing I'm allowed to use is solar weaponry, so I switched to Vex Mythoclast, a heritage shotgun. And dear God, Rylee, is that a fucking avalanche? What is with all these weapons? Where do I even get half this shit?
It's pretty difficult to put into words how disgusted I am, how depressed I am.
I can think of 12 different better solar weapons I could pull out of my urethra before you'd even find an avalanche. I play like a donkey, lose about 5 motes, and much like Be Strong 80 of days past, another absolute warrior of a different cloth shows up to scrape me off the floor as Armageddon rolls in to give me a little bit of a resi under the table. Much like PETA, I beat the ever-loving fuck out of some dogs and begin to throw mad amounts of hammers. I deposit 15 motes, and before you know it, the primeval gets ready to tussle with the muscle. Despite me starting to get my footing, I still can't aim a hammer for dick and constantly launch them off into the stratosphere. But the seeds have indeed been sown. In my brief foray into the Titan class, I have learned that the hammer is everything. You see this? All of this? Forget it. Absolute garbage.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. Beautiful in an ugly way, but mostly hideous. This is great. Everything about this says exactly what I am and who I am as a person. My defining trait.
This right here is enough to make the angels cry. Little did I know that picking up the hammer changes you fundamentally at the molecular level. I am a new man at my core. I mean, just look at this power! I hope you guys are happy watching me nerd out about being a Titan. This shit is wild! Last time I played Titan, I didn't even use any goddamn powers. You're telling me there's more to my fairy princess dress-up game? Nah. In stylish fashion, the monkey finally begins to understand as I launch a hammer off at the boss in the final hour. And just before the enemy team wins, my hammer blows through the taken sternum. Despite being at the bottom of the board, I am once again given primeval instinct, radiating that leader energy, and I close off game 2 with a win. In game 3, I dive into my vault looking for something useful to switch to. I decided on armamentarium because that was pretty much all I had, and it was beginning to feel like I couldn't kill a dreg with Ashen Rake. This was around the time Bungie decided to take off the bitch sticker and apply some testosterone to their game design by giving Sweet Business explosive rounds. You couldn't enter the Crucible without hearing this bad boy spin up when this came out. Being a new Titan, I fall into all the traps I've seen other Titans fall into and stare down an invader with a machine gun just by spraying and praying. Because he saw me playing like a blueberry, he laid me out, making me lose 10 motes. Ooh! Now this entire match I've been dropping straight heat as Sweet Business goes hard without any lubricant, and your boy has finally added +1 to his hammer aim skill. This new build's killing potential nets me a couple Killmonger medals, teaching me why playing Titan has the capability to make you pee white. I even took a page out of my Titan friend's book and used my barricade properly. When I take damage from it, I slide through it to let it tank the damage. A simple concept, but as a Warlock main, I'm used to casting my rift, having my enemies hear it, and then just deleting me inside of it anyway. Eventually, the invasion portal opens up, and oh boy, get ready, kids, because your daddy's coming. And then I'm going through the portal. I dive in and launch a rocket directly onto the enemy. I then chase this painfully unaware hunter and wipe his memory from the timeline. Upon returning, my invasion portal gets stolen. I then get deleted with the swarm, and they absolutely demolish their primeval. Now, to say this felt great was an understatement. I was finally beginning to believe in the potential. I was a 0 only hours ago, and now here I stand as a beacon of the Titan class. For my Herculean effort and demigod plays, these peons finally realize what fashion is, and they give me the best dressed commendation. I personally would have gave it to this guy. That's one glorious rooster. In game 4, I suffer. We suffer. I lift. We lift. I lose. We lose. This is yet another teaching of Gambit. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link, with Sweet Business absolutely melting my foes, and me beginning to believe in my Titan powers. I was slinging off combos like I was Omni-Man in Mortal Kombat. Sweet Business into hammer is a divine intervention. That didn't stop the enemy from melting their primeval faster than me auto-scrapping a god roll, because it made the foolish mistake of not dropping with a red border, and then the invader Nanito chases me down with Fist of Havoc. I made the mistake of feeling like I had security because I was about a football field worth of distance away, but he proved me wrong when he gave me a colonoscopy on the rebound, marking a loss for game 4. Alright, halftime, baby! What have we learned on our Book of Gambit journey? Over my embarrassing attempt to make the Titan army proud, I have consistently been upgrading my gear. I didn't even have legendary arms, and I know this is gonna make a few of you throw up in your mouth a little, but I pulled that bitch from Collectious. In this game, I had finally leveled the armor and modded it, allowing me to stack buffs like I broke into a Walmart pharmacy and started eating off the shelves. I came out just slugging. It took 5 games of Gambit for me to develop into a Titan. Operation Beat Their Ass. Status Missed Hammer. I mean, just look at this devastation. Not only that, that, but when I came through the invasion portal, I quick-scoped the fool with a rocket launcher. You see this shit? That Warlock probably knew I was coming. Man got caught in his rift animation. He could have started that animation 2 matches ago, and I still would have caught his ass lacking. Even though Sleepy Moggs takes this opportunity to gun me down, I'll take the small victories where I can get them, and return to eviscerate the competition. The primeval captain was not long for this world, as we absolutely obliterated his health. Now realizing the sweet business is all I need, and erupting into holy solar light, I harness the full, unbridled, concentrated power of the sun, marking my first good game of Gambit as a Titan. The game gave me bait, and in a great twist of fate, the malfeasance catalyst, I receive yet another best-dressed commendation. And is that the chicken man again? Somebody give me a lottery ticket. I'm rolling 20s. Bungie decided that because I decided to attempt personal growth and be a better Destiny player by playing a new character, they gave me a small gift of bright dust. Now, I don't think you know how rare this is. I've opened hundreds of these things, and all I get is a shitty Honda Sparrow and a ghost shell that is so unimaginative it has the same amount of effort Mojang puts into their Minecraft updates. And with my newfound luck, I decided the only way to test my Titan capabilities was to take my ramshackle build and caved-in frontal cortex into the crucible. I then grab a weapon for a more civilized gorilla, kept my solar theme a-rolling, and to say that I was disgusting in there would be an understatement. Now I'm a bit of a beast in PvP. I think I'm the only player who can actively get better the worse gear you put me in. You don't even know the kind of pain I can unleash when it's white gear versus white gear. I even got my first Guardian hammer strike and oh, this ability, fuck. This is what I've been missing. This is what I'm talking about. Oh my god, did you see that knee from top rope? I am the thunder from down under, giving out so many fists, you'd swear I was your uncle. In Game 6, it was time to be a bit of a bad guy. This whole time, I've been slinging fire at the PvE enemies, but never actively fought PvP contestants. Now I've been out of the Gambit meta for a while. I'm unsure of what is needed to slap the shit out of these kids. I stepped away from Gambit for so long that I had become a certified boomer, so I switched to my tried and true weapons of ascendancy for boss DPS, sweet business, and contingency plan. Again, the fuck am I using contingency plan for? Now your papa won't lie to you. This was bad. This right here was straight dookie butter. I titled this video Absolutely Blasted. Worst invasions I've seen in my goddamn life. I was so hopeful going in and got slapped around. I got sliced and swarmed without mercy. I love Last Cookie here though. An exact embodiment of how this match went. In Game 7, we enter the learning arc of the anime. There's a lot to learn in Gambit. Invasions are one of the key components to whether or not you're able to take in the win. You need to be strong and strike fast, as once the enemy team knows your location, they will be descending upon you in no time. I managed to invade a couple of times and clear out a couple of moats, but it was nowhere near as many as I would claim as a Warlock. I saw I was playing overly cautious because I had no faith in my weapons or abilities, but there was an honest attempt. Game 8 has me showcasing the worst aim in existence and experiencing new pain as Error 404, skill not found, stays true to their namesake. And I move on quickly from narrating this game because, oh my god. Now in Game 9 is where I become a gamer. Immediately my bedroom was swarmed with the big booby Twitch streamers.
Thank you for the tier 3.
After this match, I have elevated to the next level. I can now float, walk on water, and explode Nintendo Switches with my mind. The government has drones locked in on my position because they fear the national security threat that might be produced if I'm able to break free of this prison. I have achieved nigh omnipotence. Sean, I know you're watching. And what are you doing? That's disgusting to my voice. Really? Please buy me a drink first. We start off this match using the Igneous Hammer with my Eye of Soul Adept, and in the last slot, the Gambit Beta Cuck weapon Xenophage. But in this match, I uncover the secret sauce. That which turns the boy into a man. Synthoceps turned me into a demon. Doctors hate this one simple trick. I put the exotic on and Solar suddenly went from viable to downright shack nasty. Not only that, but my team was a well-oiled machine this time. Using the Hot Wheels hand cannon was also oddly viable as it was deleting enemies when the pimp hand wasn't there to save the day. And with fire and vigor, there was little the enemies could do to even get close to defeating us. Now there is a lot to learn when it comes to Gambit. Even in this day and age, can you believe how much time has passed since we've seen the glory days? My fellow Dredgens, it's been a wild ride, hasn't it? Come, sit with me for a moment, and let's reminisce about old times. I don't think it's too much for your old Papa Rye to ask. Hard to believe when I look around, it's 2023. Almost an entire decade since this whole thing started. Hard to believe we're really nearing the end now. I won't lie to you. Even though there are times it's poorly updated, the lows find a way to suffocate the highs so closely that I can't tell which way is up anymore, and many point our way and laugh. You have to admit, there's still something beautiful here, isn't there? We've really, honestly seen it all, haven't we? But I guess you can say we're built of some sterner stuff after all. We've watched the community rip itself apart and put itself together so many times. But also good people coming together, if only for those few fleeting moments. Those sort of things never truly go away. And I think that I'll carry them with me until the bitter end. But even through it all, I can be proud of myself, because we always saw the bright side. And I hope that you can be proud all the same. Sometimes we were right. Sometimes we weren't. Sometimes we were angrier than the word anger permitted. Things are more uncertain now than I think they've ever been. But I ride the current as it comes. But even through all of that, I'd like to think that I've been happy to have been with you for the brief time that I have been along this silly little game of ours. Who are we to have been so blessed to share these moments throughout 10 years on our own journeys? It has truly and wholeheartedly been an honor. So I ask you, my friend, Fire, you really want to know the path of fire? Flame, you really want to understand the path of flame? The truth is, it was in lightning we were taught that change is inevitable, and that your only way forward in the absence of direction is to continue when all seems lost. But it is in fire that we harness the vehicle that drives that change. Embers that in the darkest of nights spark to life, cleansing in holy fire by taking what already lingers inside you and igniting that truth out into the world. The sect of flame is held on the wings of the misbegotten, the forgotten, and the sons and daughters of those who have had their light fading away quietly in the background, manifested in the darkest pits within yourself, where it is seen as a destructive force, found for no truth in the act of creation. But without the dark, is there truly any light? So I ask you now, do you want to walk the path of fire? No longer will we lurk in the dark. No longer will we reside in the shadow cast by our limits. No longer will we cower in the wake of the abyss, bellows deep within our core. So rise, ye sons and daughters of the way of flame. Allow that fire to burn deep within. The way of fire is truth of passion. The way of fire is truth of courage. The way of fire is raw, unabated power. Now go forth into the world and realize my words. Realize them and burn. Burn it all away! We got an intense there. And that, my friends, is the teaching of fire. I hope you've all done your homework, because next we have Void, which, fuck, I don't know why that's coming. I love making these videos. They gotta be some of my favorites, just because you get that cool anime shit at the end. Yeah! Probably blew my mic a couple times. But to celebrate this momentous occasion, and to the closing of 2023, I would like to thank my patrons once again. It's been a while since we've done this, so I would like to give a huge thank you to everyone who's helped me along this journey. I know I'm not as active as I should be, and I'm really trying to get there, but I really wanted to up the quality for you guys, and I really hope that I'm doing it. I tried to learn a whole new skill, and I honestly wouldn't have been able to even attempt that without your help. So everyone on Patreon, even though I'm not around as much as I should, honestly, thank you. What you've done for me means the world. I wouldn't even have been able to attempt 3D animation. I wouldn't have been able to attempt anything that I've done. All my equipment and everything is all thanks to you. So let's see what horrible names have been cooked up for me this time. Robert Davidson, Mads, Savathun Shoulder Goblin, Brent Saunders, Kieran Armstrong, The Dog Eater, okay, Kanan Johnson, Van Galta, Claude Canvas 95, Centurion Alpha, ZKKZ, Arcus, Marshall of the Knights of Reloaded, Sunyan, Waffles, Babushka, Lemong Tang, St. Hubert, and what the Maximilian Bunk, Schwanye East, Schwan East. These names are already great. Tim D, Sigma 85. The bullet that killed Kennedy. Ah, fuck. Rylee Reloaded all over D2. Brother Among Us? Hot Dog Water. The only I'm gonna keep it that way. Vesper. The Coffee God. Charlie. TBHL. Charlotte Brophy. Mini Scorn Dogs. Rook. Kentucky Fried Crota. Missed my Nighthawk shot. God, you don't want to see me play Hunter. If you think Titan was bad, that's... Have you seen my knife throws in the Beyond Light videos? Oh. The O5 Council. Chibi Ding Dong. Swag Messiah. Sean Kent. Volstrax. The Flying Siva. Hot Wheels. Tex Does Halo. Your local brain damage game. Powered by Hot Wheels Fury and Spite. Metal name. Azerbane. Prof Backspin 64. Alea. Nate Spence. Kermit. Sewer of Slides. Saucy Jose. Izajo. Modern Gamer. The Immaculate Horse. Queffers. Perfect Question. Isaac Hartley. Wizard. Voxolotl. Sirocco. Gargatarian. Joshua. Zane Chandler. Wisa Dementia. Chapaske. Hi. I Drop My Pocket. Hardock. Sosa. Warlock Jump is CBT. You're goddamn right it's CBT. Dear God. Pens King 87. Hayless. Sam. James Big Red G17. TJ Ryan. Luna. Trans of Genders. Vic GGC. Master's Eye. Lidak. Ramenless Gold. Shenanigans. Skittles. Rolk's Third Testicle. Spencer Candelia. Polis. Chloromantic. Alexander the Mediocre. Skyward Echo. Not the Legend. Michael Vradenberg. Sona Shot. Lightwolf Gaming. The Deep State plus Power Color equals pain for Papa Hot Wheels profit. Good news, everyone! Because of Patreon, I no longer have the Power Color. I had to contain it inside of another PC. I put all the evil in there and it hasn't gotten out yet. It's like a Dybbuk box. You open the GPU and we'll be cursed into 1,000 years of winter. Scorn Hub Premium. Reject Claw. I'm trying to sound like the Halo announcer right now. Happy the Unhappy Cat. Darth C. Delta Shell. Ah, the classic Marasov Strap-On. I kill you! Grenshu. Sticky Kid. When are you gonna change that? Why you make me say that every time? Zero Kelvin. Adeptus Igni. Lunar Leaf Sheep. IV Omega IV. I think it's you said it was okay to just do 4 Omega 4. Mark Macri. Exo Warlock. George Neely. Xtron. J Pfeiffer. Preston Rose. Nitron. Dark Souls 2 Enjoyer. Everyone hates Dark Souls 2, but I unironically think it was pretty good. 3 is still my favorite though. Lalo Salamanca. I'm back. It was you. Wumpus the Friendless. Wildfire 56. Dr. Dinky. Agenda. Cameron Spoon. Moose Master. Master of Meese. Moose Master. I swear to you, Jin loves that name. He thinks it's one of the greatest. Canadians. All we know is Moose. Dran and Bethany Arcana. Dragon Boy SD. Chase Kilday. Fishalala. Zerlin. Vibronius Michael. I love Gambit. Ash Incendia. Legend of Swoop. Zeriak. Ogstratus. Bilbo. James Hardy. Ahigao Kurimi. Tully. Riley from Berta. Stephen Wagner. Xavier. Ibrahim Altwiri. Grumpy Grandpa. Jonathan Schultz. Hero. Ixis. Fanbuscus P. Dem Dirty Pipes. Amen. It's either blues or pipes, eh? Major brain damage. Geopolition L. Insert name here. Delphox Simp. Ahmed Albashri. Zombie Fox. Conquer Reloaded. Jack Mage. Arik McMire. Asclepius. Zynum. Pathetic Mango. Momo No Legs. It's Game Boy 365. Goose 28. Founder of the Knights of Reloaded. Gucci! I hope you're doing good, Goose. Always good to see you. Lee. Woodman the Splinter. God, Woodman, it's been a while, man. Not a Cardboard Box. Asley Elks. Magneto. Your friends Steven. Sir Depresso. Chris Haley. Micah. U.S. Navy Squid. Luke Sturch. Enter Your Name 94. Sharky. Matt Herrick. Later. Gamma Rad. Cameron Scholes. Mr. Captain McDaddy Clutch. The Amazing. Rycon 6. Zuppel Tuppel Toppler Tummy. Better fucking kill your ass. KXNG Kitty Bitty. Garrett Kane. Demetrius. Joshua Greenleaf. Pepsi Main. Magneto. Flat Surface. Kel of Ankle Taking. Unsert Judd. NT Pin Hero. Cosmic Essence. Cosmic is my admin for the Discord. Absolutely lovely individual and has done a world of good for me. I am a terrible admin, a terrible father. I go get the milk all the time, and there's Cosmic. So to see you on here, Cosmic, stop sending me money. But honestly, thank you for everything you do. I feel like this is good as an occasion as I'm feeling the holidays, I could say. Maybe a bit nostalgic, so thank you. Arliss McGuire. Zarin King. Sensei Smalls. Mordaunt. T7 Code 99. IB Stevie. Jonathan Blaylock. Schmazzy Wazzy Mozzie, Amen Smith. Mattel rolled her eyes and gave a sigh that turned into a well-humored chuckle. Well done. I'm proud of you, doofus. Damn. Listen, why you gotta hit me with one that hits home? Where's my shit? It just makes me ache. I wanna bleed. Lamosha, J. Lack, Schwabba Lubba Lubba, Boston, Azure Knight, Lone Ranger. Capone went to Diablo, Bible thumb. Many tears were shed. Also, you gotta try Hades for some grade A self-flagellation. Voice. I'm losing my voice for that one. Hades, I gotta try it. I heard it's pretty good. Tekka, the Mugless Sauvant. Oh, fuck me. I still haven't sent the mug. Tekka, one of these days you're just gonna get slammed with like 90 mugs, I hope. You made such a cool fit. I love doing those graphics. I might do that again sometime, so be prepared for that. Dank Devastation! Oh, I hope Dank is doing well too. Dank was one of our Mayrin gods. An absolute machine. Zerx 14A, Max C, Nadian Syrup, X9, 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 X9. Ben Stanfill. Always good to see you, Ben. Living the dream! Kate, XD 7228, Kari Simpson, Caleb Warman, Kevin Noda, Fish! I hope, Fish, you know that I dedicated that whole bit in White Gear Duality where the fish come up just for your Patreon name. Code F11SH3 that Allrax plays in it. I hope that wasn't lost. I hope you managed to see that because that was literally what I put that in there for. Ban me, your boy Gamer Weenus. Another holiday cheer here I'm giving out. Weenus has been such a big supporter of everything. Honestly, when things break for me, Weenus has helped me replace them. He's just a fantastic guy all around. We play Cursed Halo together sometime. And I gotta say, the shit that comes out of that, I gotta make a video on it because you will not believe how stupid that game can get. I love it. An absolute gem. Weenus is cracked too when it comes to Destiny. Nathan Dasiuk, Volkeen and Thruman. Volkeen. Beautiful voice from Volkeen. Every time, I cannot wait to continue Lightless, and I really hope he continues to lend me his voice. Delegator has such an important thing coming up in the next Lightless series that I'd hate to lose. Thruman and Dragon Waffle, I really hope you guys are doing well. It's been a long time. Hot Wheels Enthusiast, Kefnet the Useless, Nathaniel Farmer, Curious Lich, CO Camo 3. Arson is indeed cringe. I love going this far back. Man, I'm getting sentimental. I need to look through this and post more updates because every time I read all the people that have come together to make this whole thing happen is just mind-blowing to me. Hunter Bartley, Crimbo the Undying, Madeline Celestia, Some Dude with a Scarf, Fogo's Binted, Super Steven. Steven, your artwork is my background. I'm just gonna keep reading. Mondo 117, James Escalante, Brighton, Omega Null, Some Archie Deskhopper, Nan, Lost the Bob, Fufu Akio, and Xavier Human. You guys are phenomenal, and I can't thank you enough for everything you've helped me do. So let's hopefully get one more video for 2024. It has been a wild ride, and I thank you all for joining me on it. So happy holidays to you and your kid. I've been Papa Rye, and I cannot wait to catch you in the next one.